Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Google Ads pay-per-click webinar workshop. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Just quick overview of what this webinar is about. You'll learn how to create Google Ads pay-per-click advertising campaign on the different search for Google, YouTube partner sites, YouTube. I think today we're probably going to focus on more of just the Google search because there's so much stuff to cover on, and we won't have enough time to cover everything within 2 hours. Presenters is going to be myself. I'm the founder and CEO of Digital Synergy, executive director of AABRN, which is a nonprofit. And our special guest tonight is Hugo. He's a Google expert. Hugo, did you want to talk a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, thank you, John. My name is Hugo Ojiri. I've been working in SEM and the Google Ad space for about 12 years. I currently work for a Fortune 500 company, and I also run a small freelance company. And yeah, no, I'm glad to be here. I'm just going to help John review some best practices and summaries around Google Ads and the different channels that it offers.
Cool. Thanks, Hugo. Yeah, so he's the expert. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to pick his brains. So today's webinar is brought to you by Elevate Hennepin. Elevate Hennepin is the largest county in Minnesota. If you have any questions, feel free to visit the website. We'll be sharing this PowerPoint slide out as well. So any links on this PowerPoint here will take you to the website. Today's table of contents will basically talk a little bit, give you an overview of Google Ads, the action plan, the flow chart, checklist, how to do keyword research, how to do competitive analysis, and then we'll do live demos. So in between, we'll kind of do some live demo in between, and also work with some AI tools to see how it can help you as well. But the goal here is to really focus on business owners and entrepreneur. How can you generate leads for your specific industry, right? Okay, so to start off, again, we've been using this PowerPoint for the past couple sessions. And it's good to remember that Google has about 80 to 90% of the market share. So everything is really important on Google. So make sure that your business is optimized. And if you're advertising, make sure that you're on Google. I also recommend Bing. Bing does have a higher conversion rate, even though it has less searchers. So first off, I want to kind of explain about, when you think about Google Ads, right? Where are these ads showing up? So here's kind of like a layout of where the ads usually show up on national search. So if you do, like, for example, if I search on a Google search term, digital marketing agency, anything that says sponsor on top, these are ads. So meaning they pay per click. If you click on these ads, it's going to cost the advertiser money. And how much does it cost? We don't know. You have to look at the platform to be able to tell, but I can tell you it can be a couple dollars to like 30, 50 bucks, depending on the bid and how competitive it is. So you kind of have to understand the bid structure for the ad network. It's pay-per-click, but it's based on a bidding structure. If you're targeting a very competitive keywords, you're going to have a lot of other companies, agency bidding for that same keyword, and that's what drives up the cost. So it's important for you to really be specific in your niche and also target the right audience and the right keywords, because if not, you'll lose a lot of money really quick. As a small business owner, even the 500 to 1,000 bucks can be burnt within a week or two. So you want to be able to, we'll teach you how to kind of come up with a budget of how much you can target and what type of keywords to target, how specific and how specific you want to target for your niche, because there's different ways on how you can target different types of match that you can target. It can be broad, it can be exact match, meaning someone has to type in these exact keywords for your ads to show up, or do you want people to just type in like a keyword and your ads will show up? So that's really like a broad search term. This other screen here is Google local search ad layout. So if I do something earlier, this ad I just did digital marketing agency, so Google knows that this is more of a broad search. So the results that came out for this page is a little different. Whereas this page here, I put in digital marketing agency in Minnesota. As you can see, when I put it in Minnesota, Google knows that I'm searching for something local. So then underneath the top ad here is the local map ads. So where it says sponsored, these are all like sponsored ads for local businesses within my area, right? And same thing for products. If you're searching for a product, you'll start seeing products, and we can kind of go through the search results to show that. But I wanted to just kind of show you all that, you know it's an ad when it says sponsored. And a lot of people, I try not to click it because I know how much it costs, but a lot of people click on these ads and when they're just doing informational search, right? So that's something where, people don't know that these are actually ads, that it's actually being paid and charged to someone else who's running the ads. Any questions with the layout of the Google search? And maybe I can, all right, so this here is the Google Ads flowchart. So to run any type of ads, you need a landing page, you need a website. Landing page, funnel, landing page, meaning funnel, meaning the lead will come into your website, it's going to go through a funnel, and it's going to filter your lead out depending on their behavior. So I recommend if you can have a CRM, lead retention management system, it's good to have one so you can manage your leads and follow up and have it automated. So the strategy here is, the primary campaigns are really the search campaigns. Search campaign is basically the Google search results, right? The landing page. You want the search results, your ads on the search results, when someone clicks on it, it directs the user to your main website or your landing page. So your landing page has to be a good lead funnel as well, meaning you need some type of form, phone number as well. If you're just sending them to like a 1,000-word content page, they're not going to want to read it, so you want to have the right image, the right content and everything, what we call to action, right? So that it can be so it can entice the user to want to learn more and submit the information. Video campaigns are YouTube. This is also good for running some ads. So there's a couple types of ways you can run ads. You can run ads to show on other YouTube videos, or if you have a YouTube clip where you kind of promote about your company and you want that to show for people who's browsing through YouTube, then you can set up that as well. And Hugo will go through that a little bit. We'll talk more about that. And Hugo, anytime that you want to add in to what I'm going through here, feel free to just shine in as well.
Yeah, I could comment on a few of these things. I don't want to interrupt though. You can go ahead and then maybe after we'll highlight some of the some of the high level topics. However you prefer.
Yeah, we can both shine in. Because I know you're an expert here. So if you have anything to add, feel free to add as well in these slides.
I would say from a small business owner standpoint, I think it's important to distinguish the difference between or the model that support search, video, and display. Traditionally speaking, if you're looking for leads, phone calls, emails, majority of your budget will be in search, will be in traditional search. Video and display, for the most part, I'm generalizing here, but for the most part, it can supplement search. It can help with branding. I kind of think of it like a billboard. You drive by it often, you see it enough, it can build over time. It can turn into leads through brand awareness. But typically, traditional search will be where the majority of the search ads show up. It's the only network where the local service ads show up. We'll get to that at a later slide. And then something for maybe retargeted branding, expanding into a new market, you want to get your name out there. YouTube and display would be more of a model for that. So just want to clarify that.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, display is more, some of these network areas more, if you're building your brand and you just want awareness, then display will be something good where you can do, because Google doesn't show your ads on the Google search results, but it shows it on the partner website. So if you go on Gmail, you might see those ads. If you go on your mobile app, you might see some of these ads display, or any of the Google partner websites. Partner websites can be like Facebook, Yelp, or things like that, right? That are partnered with Google and have a certain ad space for Google ads to show. So, and we can talk more about that later. So Again, we have search campaign, video campaigns. These are probably the two primary ones that you will run. I'd say search campaign is a primary one. And you have your specialty campaigns. If you're selling a product, then it'll be shopping or go through Google Merchant. If you're local, you can run through the local service ads. There's an app as well. So these are all connected to the partner websites. Retargeting campaigns are more like if someone lands on your website, they might not have submitted any lead form or may not have purchased anything, but you can still capture that audience. They might just be shopping for information or pricing first, and then you can retarget the ads so they can see your ads again when they navigate outside of your website. And sometimes the more they see your ads, they may think that, that you're the right business to go with, right? And it's all about that behavior thing, showing ads at the right time for the right intention. So retargeting campaign is also very effective. Again, sometimes the customer does not convert the first time, but after a few days to a week, they may convert over. Google ad campaign structure, really the basic structure is one campaign, and then you'll have an ad group. Inside this ad group, we'll have like 2 sets of ad copy, right? So we always recommend 2 or 3 because you want to test out different ad copies to see which one is more effective, and the more effective one will run more on Google. So it's kind of automated. So it's they call it kind of like A/B testing. You can test 2 different landing pages. So think of the ad group as either 2 different landing page or 2 different verticals as well. You may be targeting maybe for like auto body shop, right? You may be targeting auto, and maybe you're targeting like oil change versus like a radio repair, right? These can all be in different ad groups because they're different niche, and each group will have 2 ad set. If anyone has any questions, and if you want us to be like, hey, I have a business that I'm doing this type of service, how did I set up these ads? Feel free to ask. And then the action plan is,
yeah. This is Mitchell. Will you cover how to pick keywords for the Google ads?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We're going to get to that as well, and we'll show you some tools that you can use, which Google Keyword Planner is free, and I also have a paid version of SEM. They call it SEM Rush. It's a paid tool. It is free to sign up as well, and you do have limited interaction with it, but the paid version will give you more access, more options.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep. And then the action plan is really make sure you have an account set up, right? So to have an account set up, you just have to sign up through like a Gmail account. You need a Google email account. So make sure you have a Google account set up, and then a Google Ads account. If you're running YouTube, you make sure you have a YouTube account set up as well. Create like a basic strategy, having a landing page, a cost structure, estimate how much you need to run your ads, how you will manage it, and your goals and objectives. Are you just trying to build your brand? Are you trying to generate leads? Are you trying to get people to download your ebook or whatever it is? You need your goals and objectives to kind of know the direction of where you want to go to set the ads. Number 3 is website conversion tracking, your return on investment. So you need to be able to track conversions so that you know which ad is converting, which keyword is converting. So you can track your conversions by that, and that's how you know what's working, what's not. And you can kind of cut the keywords that are not working. You can pause those keywords and then just kind of focus on the keywords that are working for you. Launch your campaign and then monitor and make proper adjustments. So Google Ads is really, it's not a one-time thing. Once you launch it, you kind of have to monitor on almost like a daily basis, make proper adjustment. If you see like, the click-through rate is dropping, click-through rate meaning, you have a high impression rate where your ads are being shown to a lot of people, but not a lot of people are clicking. So that kind of means that, something's wrong. Like maybe your landing page is not relevant. Maybe you're targeting the wrong audience or the wrong keyword. maybe your ad copy doesn't have the right call to action for people to want to click on it. So so then you have to go back and troubleshoot. Keyword research. So here we can kind of talk about, I can do like a live demo here and share my screen. Hugo, do you have anything else you add in the meantime in terms of what I've covered so far?
No, you did a good job summarizing that. I think when I present too, I'll touch on some I'll touch on some of those topics again. But if there's anything in particular you want me to speak on, or any of the guests want me to, just let me know. I don't want to jump in and interrupt you, so but I'm taking notes over here.
Okay, great. So what I recommend is Google Keyword Planner. So once you set up the ad account, it's basically to set up an ad account. So let me just go back to the basic here. So you would go to ads.google.com if you want to set up a basic ad account. I think I already started here, but yeah. So in the URL, it's ads.google.com. And this is the landing page for it. And this is, they already have a lot of good information too. They kind of tell you, Google tells you a little bit about the different networks that they have. The search term, what is it? It helps drive sales, leads, and site traffic. Display, what is display? It builds awareness and consideration for memorable, engaging ads. So it's basically building your brand. Shopping is basically running ads to sell your products. Video is running ads on videos, or running your video. If you have a video and you want to show it to people, that can be very effective, because a lot of people don't like to read, they like to look at videos too. And then app, if you're using Google Play or video game apps and stuff like that, your ads will show up in the app. And achieve your goals. Basically, it's what is it that you're looking to do? Are you looking to increase leads, conversions, sales, foot traffic to your store? If you're a local store and you're trying to get people to come to your store, so what's your intention? What's your objective? Your goals, right? And then track, learn, and like we mentioned earlier, optimize your return on investment. Track conversion leads so that you know how to measure your success. So I recommend, if you're just trying to run ads without no tracking, I wouldn't run ads without setting up your tracking leads, because you're basically just kind of throwing money out there and you're not sure where your money's really going into, so make sure you have your tracking conversion set so that you know what's effective and what's not. And overall, this is just for Google Ads, but if you were to look at the overall digital marketing, you want to be able to tracking for, like, if you were running Facebook ads, social media ads, if you're doing SEO, all the tracking that you set on Google Analytics will be able to capture where your leads and traffic is coming from. So it's important to set tracking for any of the different marketing services, so that you know how to really monitor and distribute your return on investment. So if you know that maybe Google Ads is working better than social media ads, you can, spend more money towards Google Ads because it's more effective for your return on investment. Okay, so now, so this is the homepage. This is where you set up. You would just sign up, and Hugo will show you that later. In terms of just keyword planner, I recommend using Google Keyword Planner. You just have to set up a Google Ads account to be able to access. And if anyone has any keywords that they would like me to do a search on, I'm more than welcome to just do like a live run and take someone's business keywords. If not, then I can kind of just use like something like generic, like digital marketing services, or based on my business. So once you're on the Google Keyword Planner, there is a discover new keywords. So if you're not sure of what keywords people are searching for, then you would click on discover new keywords. If you kind of know what you're searching for, the keywords that you need, then you can click on volume and forecast, which will show you the number of searches per month for each keyword. Okay, so Atif typed into the chat, social sound foundation. That's pretty unique. I'm not sure if, let's find out what that is. So and you need an account, again, I mentioned earlier. So social sound foundation. So there is no search volume for that. I think this is pretty unique where there could be many meanings to social sound foundation. So there's no data in return back from what Google is shown. Atif, do you have something more specific in terms of what that is?
Yeah, if we're not getting any search demand, that's probably like if you shorten that, try something. Doesn't matter the genre. I mean, you can pick, you put sound in. That's very unique. There's probably isn't. If there's the search demand is low, it won't populate anything. Search anything. What's social sound? Put in like sound services or sound repair. You get it. Just for the example, you can try a shorter tail keyword. Or I can, during my presentation, I can too, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, but for now, I'll say just like, I'll do an example of digital marketing, right? Digital marketing. This is more of, so right now I have it set to United States. So let's say if I don't want to know the volume for the United States, I'm local, right? And I want to just target Minnesota. So I would just go in here, I would put in Minnesota as my state target. X out of US. So you have to be strategic too. If you're targeting US and you're a local store and you want people for traffic, so you're gonna waste a lot of money and burn your budget quickly because your ads are gonna be shown throughout the US, which wouldn't be relevant because you want people to show up at locally. So if I set Minnesota, I just did digital marketing. The way you look at this is the keyword, the second column is average searches per month, meaning the number of searches per month. So people are searching for digital marketing 1,900 times each month. And this doesn't mean that it's exact, it means like everything overall, like, it could be a digital marketing agency, digital marketing company, all these are kind of total to 1,900. So, some of the keywords here I think people would search for or utilize my service would be digital marketing agency or digital marketing services, which has 40 searches per month. And then the important columns to look at is really the top bid and the bid range, right? So to be at the top of the page, it's going to cost me, for example, digital marketing agency, it's going to cost me $5 per click. Meaning it's going to cost me, someone clicks on my ad, it's going to cost me $5. To be at the very top of the page, people are bidding up to $16 to be at the very top. So that's the big structure for it. So if I was to, try to build a budget of how much I need to spend to target, digital marketing agency, you can average out, the top and the top of the page. So, you're looking at maybe like $10 a click. And you can kind of project in terms of, if there's 300 searches per month times, I'm trying to maybe target, capture like, let's say 100 clicks, right? 100 times 10, it's going to cost me like $1,000 or something just to, for my budget, if I want to kind of just target that, 100 people click on my ads.
If I could add something too, John, if you don't mind. Just one important thing, I think he's highlighted some good points here, but the right sizing or choosing the correct budget has everything to do with performance. So I just, it's really important to look at these numbers and get associate that properly with the budget. You could set this up perfect. All best practices, hire the best PPC specialists in the world with the most experience. If it's not right sized properly, your performance will suffer. meaning like, let's say, I'll just use an example, you're targeting New York City, a huge dense metro population, and you want to, whatever your vertical is, and you want to target Manhattan, and you want to go slow, you want to kind of dip your feet in the water, and you only want to try for, let's say $200-300 a month. That's, with a big metro like that, that's an extreme example, but an example like that is a sure way to never get top position, blow through that few $100s, and not really get your service or product out there. So just matching your budget, knowing the market, but matching your budget with the search demand is important. So sorry, John, just thought that was important.
No, that's good. I appreciate helping on that. So you could put in the keyword, you can put in your website, and Google can search and crawl your website to see what keywords you're targeting. And then if we were to go back, this was Discover. If I want to do like a search volume, it's going to be very similar. It just a little bit more specific where it just tells me the searches. Again, this is based out of US. Okay. And then I quickly wanted to show you SEMrush, which does very similar. This is it's a free to use and also paid version if you want to have the full options to use it. So if I want to look for that keyword, I could type in a keyword and then it'll tell me the competition for that keyword. Very similar to what Google does, but it tells me the volume of searches for the US, international as well, the cost per click, some keyword ideas, and it gives you the search results of the top 10 for that keyword as well. And you can look at, you can pull all these different keywords. I think with SEMrush, they go into a little bit more detail. What I like to use this for is I kind of like to look at what people are spending as well, right? So if you want to spy on your competitor, you can look at ad history, which is so these are all the competitors who's running ads for digital marketing. And, I know that I can look at it. I could look at, how much they're spending on ads. So Harvard is spending about 60,000. In July, they spent 60,000. They targeted over 2,000 keywords. And if I want to look at the ads, I can even click on the ad copy. And this is the ad that they ran in June. Digital marketing strategy, professional development. So it looks like they're trying to target people who want to learn about digital marketing, but they're targeting a very broad keyword like digital marketing itself. It's a very expensive keyword. So this will give you an idea of, how much your competitors are spending too. So if you may be competing with Fortune 400 companies and, as a small business, you're not going to be able to compete with them and to be at the top of the page. So then you want to be strategic and maybe, hey, I might not want to target digital marketing. Let me do, how about digital marketing agency in Minnesota, right? So that is not enough searches, but I think if I put the M, then if I did digital marketing agency MN, there is some searches for it. There are some advertisers that are running ads for this keyword here. And they're spending about, so this web creation /us.com is spending about 5,000 a month. So in July, they spent 5,000. They target about 100 keywords. And the ad copy title is digital marketing company, agency for digital marketing. They list some of the services here on the ad. So it's not as competitive if I was just to do digital marketing agency Minnesota and then versus digital marketing itself. That's really broad and super expensive. So these are good insights to look at. And if you want, you can even type this into the search engine, and it can tell you, who are running ads. But You know, with the SEM Rush, I can tell, you know, how much you're spending on the ads. I think that's helpful because I can look at it and build a budget around there too. I'm like, you know, I'm looking at this advertiser. Some of these are running 5,000, 90,000, you know, so if I really want to target this keyword and be aggressive, you know, I would need a budget that would be over 1,000, you know, to really compete with these advertisers. So yeah, it's not cheap. So that's why it's important to find the right keywords. And the more fine-tuned it is, meaning if you're just targeting not Minnesota, but you're targeting St. Paul, for example, then you know it becomes less competitive as well. So there's a lot of different strategies that you can apply. So you can geo-target to really minimize the costs. Any questions so far in terms of keyword research? This is considered more, we're kind of jumping around, but this is more like competitive analysis now, where, hey, if I want to look at their website, you know, and I want to look at their landing page, this is their landing page. And you can tell, you know, that this landing page is well thought out. They have a form here, they have some testimonials and some case studies and call to action stuff. Phone number here, you can click and call. But the thing is that I'm thinking there. So if I click on, so this is the actual, I clicked on the domain name, but if I clicked on the digital marketing ad, this is the landing page for it. So I had to go to the ad here, click on the landing page, and this is the landing page. So low cost SEO program for $215. They have reviews here, Better Business Bureau. So it's an okay landing page. I also want to you know, show you Google Trends. So a lot of times you can kind of see what the trend is as well. So if I want to know the trend for digital marketing, you know, what's going on with the search and stuff, is it, you know, increasing or decreasing? Where is most of the searches being done? This is a good tool as well. This is the chart over time. Looks like you can set it to, let's do like 12 month United States. So it's been kind of stable. Looks like New York gets most of the searches for that term. Some of these search queries that people get a lot is would be shown here. Digital marketing trends, digital marketing agency. Okay, so that's pretty much it about keyword research. Again, there's a lot of different tools that you can use, but the basic ones that I recommend is really Google Keyword Planner tool. SEMrush is also good. Hugo, I don't know if you have any other tools that you can use that you recommend as well.
You named off the big ones. SpyFu is another one. I'm gonna go over here to my bookmark bar. SpyFu is another one. WordPress too offers a free keyword research tool, honestly, but I think you touched on it. Google, I don't think any of them are better than the actual Google Planner. And SEMrush, I think those are the two big ones. And one more I wanted to mention. It's good to find. GDB, I know you're going to mention that. And there's one more I'm trying to. I might get back to you on that. I thought I had a bookmark. There's one more that I used to use.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, SpyFu is very similar to SEMrush too. I do like SpyFu as well. It does a lot of the same things too, but it gives you a little bit more information in terms of you know, top Google ad buy recommendations for these keywords. You know, this is a good buy for digital marketing agency, competitors who bought this keyword, who are targeting this keyword, and then you can even look at most successful advertisers and their best ads. So you can look at their ads. Again, you can click on it, you can see what they're doing, their monthly budget as well. And this is just for digital marketing. And then you can even look at their landing page. So, so research and analysis, competitive analysis is important. So look at your competitors, do some research, see what people are doing, what they're spending, and then you can kind of build a strategy around what you want to target. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. Back to PowerPoint. So I just don't want to spend too much time on this because I know we got a lot to talk about and touch on. So we did kind of do competitive analysis and research already, which is spying on your competitors, see what they're running, what they're targeting, the budget that they're using, and that can kind of give you an overview of what you need to spend too. When you create ad copies, it's important to create good ad copies. Take your time creating ad copies. I was just going to show some AI tools to maybe kind of help you with that. If you guys have Chat GPT, there's different prompts that you can type in. I know I was kind of working on this earlier. So prompts, again, are commands for Chat GPT. If you want to do some research and let's say if I want to choose prompt 2, which says my Google Ads campaign is focused on industry, whatever industry it is. I have a list of number of existing keywords, but I need to expand my list of keywords that would appeal the blank audience and insert location. So that's what I did. I copy paste in here. I typed it in. So what I put in was digital marketing for small business owners in Minneapolis. And here are some of the keyword suggestions that ChatGPT came out with. So these are just some of the keywords that they came out with, like Minneapolis digital marketing services, small business marketing, Minneapolis. These are just some of the stuff that ChatGPT came out with. So you can use the free version. Bing AI is also good to give you some ideas. And then this other tool, if you're not sure, I want to just kind of show you this other tool here in terms of writing ad copies or headlines. If you're not sure how to write ad copies, you can look at, I recommend looking at competitors first, like using SpyFu. You can sign up a free account and look at the best performing ads, what they're writing too. And then you can also generate, if you need help with that, you can use some tools like I use Copymatic. If I want to generate my audience is small business owners, product name, digital marketing services. So let's just say digital marketing. Generate these. And then it comes up with different headlines that I can put in. So these headlines here, basically I can copy paste, put into the Google Ads headline. The first one says digital marketing services to generate leads, SEO services, social media marketing. And you kind of see what works, what's good. And Hugo will go through that later on to really do like a basic overview of, creating like an ad copy. And then I wanted to show, and if you, I like to use Canva as well. So if you're not sure if you need some creative ad copy stuff, right? Canva has a lot of templates that you can use. You could just do, let's just say, search for Google Ads. These are the different Google Ads that you can use, templates that you can use. Again, you can change the name, the wordings, your logo and everything. And these ad size, they're all a little different. I think these are probably more for like display ads. Versus, again, the Google searches. The Google searches, you just want to, it's basically just the title, the headline, and then the description of it, which is here, like how I'm looking at it here. Any questions so far? Mitchell, we can't hear you. Looks like you're trying to speak.
Can you hear me now? Does
Yeah.
Google set the price for the ads, or does that happen somewhere else?
Yes. So once you create the ad, you'll see the price for the keyword that you're targeting. So you'll see this once we do the demo. You'll actually see how much it costs to bid for that particular keyword, to run your ads for it. Yeah, I think we're ready to show that. I know it's quarter of, so we'll take like 5-minute break at 7, but I think we want to get right down to creating, doing some demo of creating campaigns, and showing you all how to get that done. So I think for local businesses, there's 2 different campaigns or different platforms you can use. You can use what they call a Google Local Services ad. I think this is good for local businesses. And depending on what your niche is, you can put in the state, zip code, and the job category. These are more targeted for local businesses, from auto repair to lawyers to healthcare services. So this is more for local ads, and these ads show up. I'll show you how these ads show up. So I think we were looking at it earlier. Let's say, so if someone was to type in, let's say lawyers, if I was to do lawyers near me, this is an ads that will show up when you run the local service ads. So it's a little different from the Google ads. The format's a little bit different, but it does show on top, and it shows you it's more personalized, because you have to, and we'll talk about this more, because you have to submit information, your business license and all that, photos, and reviews connected to your Google business reviews and stuff. So they show up more personalized. Whereas, if you were to run regular ads, they will just show up like underneath the top local service ads. And then below that, the Google ads is the local service ads. So sometimes people would go to the map as well, and they'll search for services, and that's how these ads will show up. So if I was to do, if I'm on my phone and I'm on Google Maps, I'm searching for lawyers near me, this is what I would see. So anything that says ad, it means that it's sponsored ad, someone's paying for it. So if you're someone new and you're trying to generate immediate leads, then running Google ad is the way to go, because then you can show up on top results. Whereas underneath the ads, these are organic search results. So these are probably, I say, focus on SEO to be ranked at the top. And ranking at the top, there's a whole variety of algorithm. It has to do with reviews, your keywords, your click through, your profile, and everything like that to be at the top. So, but then again, to be at the top, you have to pay more for it. Versus, I like to think of SEO as an investment, right? Once you're on top, it's harder to fall back down if you maintain it, and it's free click. So return on investment on a long term, it's good to be on SEO. So when you're trying to generate leads, think of an overall digital marketing strategy, right? Not just SEO, because if you focus on SEO, you might not see results for a couple of months, a couple of weeks. If you want to do a little bit of everything, focus on a little bit of SEO, and also try to generate immediate leads by running ads as well.
I wanted to jump in, John, and just clarify an important difference between traditional search ads and the LSA. You'll notice too, I don't know if you can go back to that last screen, while the 3 of them almost like in a carousel position was top position. So local service ads is a slightly different model. It's really not pay per click as traditional search ads. It's pay per lead, which means they always they always display above traditional search ads, above organic. It displays above everything else. So if they offer this in your area and for your service, product, or business, absolutely always opt in. Because it's a cost per lead, let's just say someone clicks on it, and right here, lawyers are examples, and they're looking for, I don't know, it's a real estate lawyer, and they call up looking for DUI lawyer, completely irrelevant, or not directly related to the service. In the local service ads dashboard, you can dispute that back. Google will refund you. All calls are recorded within the local service ads platform, so you can go back and record them. Dispute that back, and you'll get your money back. No other traditional search doesn't offer that. In fact, no other pay per lead search audience offers that. So there's only 3 slots. It's based on reviews. Whoever has the top reviews, whoever responds to your customers the fastest, and whoever has their budget sufficiently funded. That's how you'll show up in these three marks. Yeah, you're above everybody. Right below that sponsored, that's a traditional search. So that's a PPC. It's a traditional PPC. You notice it's in second place. So whoever they are, their local service ads, they either didn't opt in or they didn't qualify, lack of reviews, or bidding. Really, if you really want to corner the market, you'll opt in the local service ads, and you'll have your PPC ad below. Then you'll be in the map pack, and then you have a strong SEO presence. That's a really strong holistic picture. But you can see the different channels, how they occupy the real estate on the page. Everyone probably knows this, but about Google releases these stats on a yearly basis, but about 80% of users, maybe a little bit less, don't scroll to the bottom of the page. 50% scroll to the second half. So right here, what you're looking at, most of us don't scroll past this. But yeah, what's going to be clicked? The business, yeah, probably already how we scroll down like that. Only about an estimate half of the users don't even do that. So and the younger and as we progress, they click fast and they scroll down less. So just to kind of put that in perspective, if you don't have top position, outside of having really strong brand, you're not going to get the you're not going to be visible to the majority of your potential business. So sorry, it's a little high level, but I just wanted to explain the differences between them.
Yeah, no, it's good to clarify that. Yeah, pay per click and pay per lead. And as you can see how important Google reviews was, I think we talked about that before. Even if I use Google Bard, right? Google Bard pulls results by Google reviews as well. So if I just do, which this is to kind of experiment, but once it goes live, reviews is so important. It's everything too. So if I did lawyers in Minnesota, Google Bard pulls, there are many lawyers here, a few examples. Let's say criminal lawyer. See criminal lawyers in Minneapolis. And here are some criminal lawyers in Minneapolis. And so this is shown Yelp. Looks like these are shown from different credible websites for the results. And if you want to Google it, you can as well. And before, when I was doing restaurant searches, it was pulling, if you did like, let's say best lawyers in Minnesota, let's see. Lawyers. And the way Google pulls these the results is based on Google reviews as well. So I just wanted to reiterate how important it is to have good reviews. So if you have any clients, do some type of incentives to have them leave good reviews, because it does matter when it comes to search results and click-throughs and all that, and ranking and stuff too. Anything else you add, Hugo, before we take a 5-minute break?
Yeah, and that review, if you're wondering where those reviews come from, so they pull it right from your Google My Business profile. So it's kind of an incentive, and that's something that it's kind of public, and people leave reviews. So there's no, that's going to pull it directly from there. So it is important to keep that healthy.
Yeah, so once we come back after a 5-minute break, we'll do more live session, and Hugo will show you all how to do like a basic creation of the traditional ads and local service, and just kind of navigate through the different platforms and give you guys an idea of how to set that up. We probably won't, we do have clients that we manage, but we just don't want to show the numbers to you all, but we'll kind of create like a dummy account and show you all how it looks like, so you can kind of have an idea of how to set things up. Any other questions before we take a 5-minute break? Okay, let's meet back here at 7 o'clock, and Hugo will take over and do his thing. Thanks, everyone.
I'm having some bandwidth issues too, so I move a little smoother when I'm not streaming myself live. And yeah, and I just wanted to just to piggyback off what John said too about Facebook and Google Ads and the difference too. That's like a forever ending debate, but I always like to kind of I think they supplement each other. I don't always think of them as competing with each other. But like John said, Google Ads is definitely holds the monopolies for like time and need services. Facebook can be effective, but it's targeted by audiences and your behaviors, what you like, how you comment, stuff like that, where Google is going to immediately serve you something based on what you search in seconds. So just different models, basically. Anyways, not to go on about that. I'm going to share my screen. And so, John, do you think we should start with a demo of traditional search, and then maybe move on to YouTube and display? So
yeah, I'm not sure we have time for YouTube display, but maybe we just cover a little bit.
Right.
Just, yeah. And then
get our feet wet a little bit. So yeah, so we'll go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to dive into traditional search, and these are the ads that display on top of all organic positioning, but they do display below local service ads. So it's kind of these before local service ads, these were the top of the page. Now local service ads at the top of the page is kind of
Hugo, I'm not seeing your screen yet.
Let me know when you see it. Hold on, yeah, it should be sharing. Hold on a second. The bandwidth's a little slow. I'm getting a countdown here, so hold on a second. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is just my personal account that I set up. I just use this for demonstrations and once in a while to do my own personal works here. So we can. My last name is Ruggieri. This is my little personal freelance company I run out of my home. So we're free to maneuver through here and move forward. So, and I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and use. I'm going to go ahead and use my website. So yeah, so once you get, and actually let me back up a little bit in case, so this is what the dashboard looks like. And let me just start as if you have no experience in here, because then you don't even know how to get here. So if you want to go to Google Ads, you can just, Google Ads. It'll, it's going to come up first or second in the, in your search bar. Came up first for me. So click it. So here we are. Sign in. You guys can still see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. No. Then I got the. It's a little delayed on my end. Okay. So this is the sign-in page. This is pretty basic here, very user friendly. I already have an account with multiple accounts here. You won't see this. You're just gonna see this prompt here, which says new Google Ads account. Go ahead and hit that. And again, because I have an account too, I'm gonna go ahead and log out. It's probably just gonna log me straight into an account. But that's okay. This is really basic stuff. If you already don't have several accounts, okay, no, it's okay. This is what you'll see. So yeah, so as soon as you log in and start, you're gonna put in the information. It's gonna walk you through really just some basics. It automatically filled in my my freelance company that I run, but you'd put in your business name here. This is really just basic stuff. Your landing page. You do have to have a landing page in a form of payment to finish this process. So it's pretty straightforward. Just hit next. It's going to go ahead and scan my URL, my landing page. And it's going to suggest if you have any YouTube channels, Google My Business profiles associated with my email, which I do, phone numbers. Now you all know my phone number. No, it's okay. But this is all my business stuff too. So this phone number is out on the internet, on my webpage and everything, so it's fine. If you ever need contact John or myself for any questions about this. So any stuff like that, you can link manually here. If you're unsure, don't link it. If you have multiple Google My Business profiles, some people start them, they forget they have them, they forget to log, they forget they have them, they start another one, or they lost their login. One recommendation, if you have a business, do not start multiple Google My Business profiles. I don't know if you've dealt with this before, but if you do have multiple business for the same location, same business, and Google flags it, you have to go through this process of verifying. It can be a real pain in the butt. Sometimes they'll shut down your Google Ads campaign on your website or traffic to your website for up to a week or two, sometimes longer. Moral of the story, create one. If you have issues, go through the support process. Don't create multiple ones because it looks suspicious to me. Anyways, moving forward. So this is what are your what's your KPIs? What is going to be your main goal? Are you selling something online? Do you want to submit a form lead? Are you a lead generation looking for phone calls? Are you just doing branding? Maybe there's an event out there that you just want to get eyes to. I don't know, a new pop-up, an event in your area. You just really want to get eyeballs there. A free invite. Let's say we were advertising for the seminar, which I believe is free. We just wanted to get page views to a website advertising this event. That would be a good option. Brand awareness. John spoke on this before. Yeah, I like to display. YouTube fall into this category. You can do it with search, but it's a lot less. It's display banner ads that pop up on your phone after we visit a major company's website or something, and we see them on our phone for the next 30 days, or YouTube ads. Now there's two different YouTube ads. Can be running your own YouTube videos within YouTube content, bumper or bumper ads. You just mean before or after the content, like a car bumper, or in stream, which in the middle of our favorite content on YouTube. We've all seen it. An ad comes in, we got to wait the 7-8 seconds, and then we can skip it. You can post your ads there, or you can have your banner ads or the search ads show up in YouTube while people are browsing or surfing YouTube. So there's two different ways to do that as well. It all just really matters what you're trying to do. App downloads. I went through the main ones here. There's a few different. I'm not going to go through all these. They're pretty self-explanatory. This gets a little bit more outside of basic here, so I wouldn't worry about this. Whatever makes sense. Contacts, book appointments, I would select here. And again, anything you don't select here, like if let's say you're not sure, it's fine. You can just you can always change it later. And I'm going to go ahead and just for this example, I'm going to go ahead and click. Go ahead and click. Go do phone calls. And this is just based on what I would do for my own personal website. Again, this would be whatever you want to do. You can't. You see the option there to skip that. If you want to skip that, come back later. You can. Now, it's a few different options here. Google has really expanded its tools. Before they didn't give you, there's a lot of new AI integration. They call it AI, machine learning. To be honest, it's been around within Google Ads for a while, but I know AI is a popular term now. And, so you see the options there. So as we're going through, it automatically, because I've already set up a payment information, automatically pulled in my website address. If you don't have it associated, it's going to ask for a URL. Just go ahead, copy, paste your URL, place it in there. It's going to automatically scan your website. It's going to scrape your website, and any content that's on the website you should be able to see, or related. You should be able to see that actual content or content related. I'm going to go ahead and You see the thumbnail, it's not populating, that's just because it's slow bandwidth. So it'll scrape your website. If you don't like it, and some websites aren't scrapable, or just the content doesn't come out right, you can click on images or the plus symbol on any of these assets we're going to go through. Again, my bandwidth issue, so it keeps on spinning. But one thing I like to do, if you don't already have your images or you don't like the ones on your websites, you can do a few things. You can hit website here, put it in your competitors' websites. Not that you want to use exactly what they're using, but you can get some ideas. You can also scrape social media. What I like to use, this is probably the best, free stock images. This means any image within the Google Ads library. I'm sorry, not Google Ads library, Google image library, which is probably one of the most robust in the world. Any free ones that you're free to use without any royalties, here they are. It's scraping the word media, so it's giving me a lot of media related stuff. But I can even, oh, what happened here? Sorry about that. But you can do, I think we were talking about lawyers before. Let's say you're a lawyer looking for a law firm, or let's use a different example, HVAC service, or HVAC company, let's say. And these are all ads that are going to display under our, so here, we have a bunch of images, free images. You get the idea, whether you're selling pizza, food, you're doing e-commerce, selling electronics, lawyers, or any kind of time and need services. And you can keep on loading more. Again, it's as varied as the Google image library, which is thousands of different emails. So this is really cool. So this is traditional search, which is mostly, let's go over to, I'm gonna go ahead and I don't need to add images. You get the point. I would always add images. All these assets, add as many as you can and make sure add bigger. Now, image extensions, we're gonna go through logos, we're gonna add site extensions. I'll explain these. And I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna go ahead and just so you can see what I'm saying. Okay, this is a good example. Okay, up top here are the LSA ads. Top 2 positions of the traditional search ads. And I want you to notice here, we have, the typical headliner, descriptions, and then we're gonna have something called site links here. Now you can have call extension here, site links. Sometimes you'll have the map under here. You have to get top position for these to show. The top 2 positions here to show. Once you go down here, if there were any search ads, let's see if there's any at the bottom of the page. There is. If there is, only on the bottom or at the top will you be able to show these call extensions. Very few people scroll to the bottom, so even though he has these, he's probably not going to get visibility. But up here, only this ad will have. This client may not have built them out, so that's why it's not displaying. But if this client built it out, he did land top position, his ad would look like this. The point I'm trying to say is fill out as many ad extensions and ad assets as possible. The more real estate you fill up, the click-through rate will be improved. The more your click-through rate improve, you push competitors down, you have more visibility, and you minimize the chance of you being on the bottom half of the screen. And all your competitors are doing it too. One, they want these local service ads, and then they want the top position here. If you're a company or in business and you have a position here, everyone knows Morgan & Morgan. There's no coincidence he's probably one of the biggest law firms in the world and he's in top position. He's consistently there. But if you're here and by any chance, let's say he showed up here, he is getting the large, vast majority of search demand in that area. So if you're here and here, without having to scroll down, and let's say you were here too and good or organic, you are killing it. Organic SEO takes years. One cool thing about search is you can jump the line, but you do have to, we do have to pay for it. Try not to spend too much time on this, but I just wanted to just articulate that. Where were we here? Let's go back to the Google Ads campaign. Okay, so that's it. So images, I didn't select some, but you would go ahead and select all of them. Logos, I think to save this, I do have to add a logo. So pick anyone. No, URL. So didn't want. Let's do. Okay, so again, my website has too little traffic. I built it recently, so it recommended a LinkedIn Google company, but it gave me a image asset that's related to Google Ads, right? It's a Google symbol. Fine, we can always change this later. We really just want to go through the process here to get this saved. Videos right here doesn't make sense for lead generation. Now headlines. Don't want to spend too much time here. The headlines are very important. These are below the URL and the headline from. There's big ones here that light up. You always want your main service. What you do should be here, or if it's not here, it should be here. We know as attorney. I would actually be honest. I would probably put attorney here a few more times, but he has it down here as call extensions. You know what the business is. Right here, attorneys front and center, and down here, both of those are decent ads. So when we are here, as we load, so make sure. So if this was for me and I run Google Ads, I would put something like Google Ads expert. And I'm going to do this fast. Again, that's very basic. I should probably put something a little bit more detailed than that, but you get the idea. Local lead generation pro, or something like that. You get the idea. SEM professional, something like that. This is what I do, so that's why I'm picking these. But whatever your service or product is, should also be on your web page. One kind of really basic but effective way to find out what your keyword should be. It's what's on your web page. What people are searching in the toolbar is should be what's targeted in Google Ads, and those search terms should also be on your web page. When all those three connect, that's how you qualify for a high quality score on Google Ads. When you have that high quality score, you spend less for cost per click. So you can get higher position at a lower cost per click. I know I kind of went from a lot there, but the bottom line is what you want to do is always put in relevant keyword terms to your products and services. Those also should be on your website. People are going to search those. Google recognizes that, hey, this person's searching this, he's bidding on these keywords, and these keywords are on your website. As long as people land on your website and don't bounce right off, you are scored by your bounce rate. Let's say you're advertising for Google Ads expert, and we get there and it's an SEO expert and they're bouncing off our website. Google will recognize that, hey, this website's not relevant to these users, and they're going to start to drop me in position. So relevant keywords, your product or service needs to be aesthetically displayed on your website, front end and back end. Those keywords need to be in your strategy, and then those will be searched in Google when the search demand comes. So just to try to
just to add on real quick to to orient. So they want us to add 5 headlines because these headlines will kind of rotate and spin. So eventually Google is going to be able to tell which headline will be the best one that people like to click on, and it's going to tell you as well which one has a higher click-through rate. And the headline only allows you up to 30 characters, so you want to make sure that you have the proper word and proper message so that people can click on.
That's correct. Also, I have a brand new website with almost no traffic, so I'm manually putting these in. And normally, if anyone has a website and you have plenty of traffic, it's going to scrape your website and already suggest what keywords to put in. And then yes, if you just launch it, it will automatically A/B test. Basically on an A/B test and try different combinations, and then over time serve up the best one. Or there's an option that if you know, and just to kind of get a little bit more of a high level strategy, but if you know people are searching because you have data to prove this, and you want a particular search term to always show up in position 1 in the headliner, or position 2, or in the longhand descriptions, you can pin headliners and override Google's A/B, but that's an option. So, but if you don't do that, automatically it will start A/B testing automatically.
Yeah,
and go ahead. I'm sorry, John.
Sorry, I was going to say, yeah, and as you saw when Hugo showed, they had on some of the clients, they had a call to action keyword, so free consultation. So you want to make sure you have call to action keywords so that it can be so I can trigger that person to want to click and learn more, right? So learn more, call now, free consultation. Those are some of the call to action keywords that you want to start thinking about.
Right, exactly. And I'm going to go ahead and it won't let you save this too without filling out the minimum just for this demo. And I would even just say on your end too, when you're doing this, I wouldn't spend too much time. I mean, fill out as much as you can now. You're always going to go back to this. You really want to just create the account, then you can go back in and really fine tune it. If you already know what you want, go ahead and do it. For the sake of this demo, again, I don't want to really what you want to. Each description line needs to be unique. Try short, long tail, no duplicates. And that's just the best practice in writing ads for any platform. So I'm going to go ahead and try to save this. You would, I don't want to spend too much time. I've already felt like I've been 15, 20. You would want to add site links. My page doesn't have any different, any links. You do want to add call to action, call now, call today, limited time, stuff like that. Anything that creates a sense of urgency. And call to actions really should be written in your descriptions as well too. I'm going to use me as an example, like local Google Ads specialist in Tampa, a decade of experience, call now. The call to action is call now in the ad. Some of you may know that, some of you may not, so I just wanted to do that. But take your time, go through this, put in what you know you're going to use. If not, you're unsure, just skip it, hit save, you can go back to it later. So I hope I went through that. I did, again, I left some blank, but it's just not required for right now, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. And if I did miss something, it'll always let you know too. Let's see what else we do. Okay, just like my business name. My business name really is Ruggieri Media, but I like to just put for SEO purposes, Google Ad Specialist after it. That's fine. Take that out. So little stuff like that. If you're not in compliance, it'll stop you and make you correct. It should bring me to create an ad now. It wants at least one image. It's okay. They used to not require an image, but it is a best practice. There's no reason not to put an image. When you get top position, it's going to take up that much more real estate. So I tried to skip this just to avoid that loss of 20 seconds there. Oh, it's going to again, not to sound repetitive here, but definitely don't put in a bunch of duplicates. I'm just trying to save time here. So this is related to me. This is really basic. All of these are directly related to my service, but just take your time, make as unique as possible. But I don't want to waste another 5 minutes. All this is pretty self-explanatory too, if you're already somewhat familiar with it. We don't need this. All this, you can go back into settings and re-edit this. This is really just to get started. Again, this is changing whether you want conversions. You can go back to that and see all the different options. Check emails, conversions, the amount of time on your website, maybe just push to call, whatever you need. Daily budget, again, self-explanatory. Set that to what's appropriate. We're at the end here. As you can see, it's pretty, I stopped and explained a lot because I wanted to really kind of clarify why putting the ad together obviously is important for relevancy, but the size of the ad. Don't skip those ad assets. So this is going to just more details. One cool thing too is if it's your first time and it's by your email and you're not or business name, if it's your first time, Google will offer you a $500 credit It's not, they don't mail you a check or anything, but after you spend your first 500, or I think it's your 1,000, no, it's your first 500, they'll give you another $500 credit, which means you can spend another 500 without being billed. So that's a cool incentive for anybody. And I'm going to go ahead. This is my details here, but yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and I would normally submit, but just for the purposes here, I'm not going to. But yeah, that is pretty much a really streamlined version of you know, a really basic overview of how to set up. I'm going to go back here. I have one already set up that we can go into and explore. I didn't want to save that too, because if you have an account, it's automatically going to pull your payment information from your previous account setup. So we're going to get out of here. I think we can do it like this.
Yeah, I think one cool feature is they have the budget too. So they recommend $35 a day, and if you times that by 30 days, you can get like a idea of what you need to spend per month to really meet that goal of what Google recommends. Because if you're not spending enough, your ads won't show up enough. You may not see the proper results.
Right, and we're going to go right back into that account, and I have a few already set up. Oh, I have two here. Okay. So, okay, and if I would have saved, it would have brought us to this screen right here. And this is the dashboard. I have all my campaigns saved. So every strategy that you have that's separated by campaign will display here. I'm going to go into one of the ones I just created. And I only have one ad group. Now, ad group, as John described before, this should be keyword theme or your particular service or product. But the keyword theme is important. This is really important for quality score. And you can't just put all your services and ads related keywords in one ad group and slap some ads on it. I see that all the time. If you are, you know, a beginner user or something, don't do that. You'll get hit in quality score. You still can generate quality traffic, but you'll be paying more cost per click than you have to. So for me, you know, I run Google Ad Services. So I'd have one like Google Ad Services. Maybe I'd have another one like Google Ads Expert, Google Ads Professional, local Google Ad Services. All those different variations should be in their own unique ad group. And of course, if I had something completely unrelated like graphic designer, like I know John does multiple things with his agency, not just you know, traditional SEM like me. He might have SEO, graphic design, programming or whatever else is done. Sorry, John, I only know you do SEO, but I think they get the example. I'll use another one. I have a client that makes custom kitchen knives. And he has all different sizes and shapes, and each handle has a different name. Each one of those ad groups have to be separated. You can't just put custom knives and all the different variations in one ad group. Because of that, so I'm going to click into this. Because of that, so click in one ad group. I have PPC Expert. So that's the theme of this. It's PPC Expert. If I go to the ads, I only have one here. You'll see PPC Expert. Actually, you don't. I should. I'm going to go ahead and put it in. But since my keyword is PPC Expert, I have to have PPC Expert in the headliner. I don't have to, but I'll be penalized on. It's scraping my website. This is why it's kind of putting my company name all jumbled up. And you got to watch it too. These AI tools that scrape your website, they're not 100%. You just saw that. My name, my agency's name is Ruggieri Media, but I put Ruggieri and then media in one. That didn't make sense. You just got to catch that. Google Ads too. What about Google Ads? Google Ads, you know, specialist. You know, if you just put Google Ads, it doesn't make sense. And let's see. Here.
Yeah,
it's even telling me. Oh, go ahead, John.
Oh, sorry. I was going to just say, so the ad strength is something good to go with. So make sure that you have good ad strength. So if you have keywords here that doesn't match your landing page where, you know, Hugo is doing pay per click, and if he sends it to like SEO page, then he's going to get a bad ad strength, you know, because it's not relevant to what he's doing, and that may affect his click-through rate, his cost per click, and all that.
Right.
Sorry.
No, that's correct too. And one thing to mention too, I have a brand new site, has no much traffic. Sometimes it will just start off poor. Um, put as much relevant words, try to get that to average or good, but it's okay with time. And as you get traffic and as you start plugging in what people search into your headliners, that will strengthen. Again, this is my website with no SEO paid traffic history. So Google's scraping it and not finding anything. So that's why you're seeing that. But anyways, what the point is we want, and it's even going to tell you keywords up here to this top here. And normally you have several keywords here. These need to be the keyword themes here, and they all should be PPC expert, local PPC expert, pay-per-click expert, pay-per-lead expert, stuff like that. You get the idea. These need to be, that needs to be in here somewhere, at least once, or some variation of it. And I could even maybe, I'm doing this fast. I don't want to, waste too much time on the local. See that little variation right there? If I keep doing this will switch. Maybe I'll try professional. I don't know. Or it could mean I need to go on the back end because I built my website myself and add to the tags and the headliners on the back end. I need to add these words, and that could be something on the web design too as well. Anyways, the keywords and the services, put as many as you can here relevant. Descriptions, you want to do this as well too. You get 90 here, so you want to try to use as many as you can without sounding, with it still sounding proper. Don't just kind of jam a bunch of words in there, but think of different things. Call to now and say, I'm not going to write 90 on each because again, I want to fit as much as I can. I think we only have a half hour, but you need at least 2. I would put at least 3 or 4. Business names, logos, stuff like that. Again, you get the idea. When you're doing it, take your time, add as much assets as possible. And then I saved it. I didn't have any errors that time, and then there it is. It's going to be. It's always going to be under review as long as you didn't violate any terms. It usually won't even let you save if you do. But yeah, that's it. You want at least it's recommended 3 ads per ad group. It helps Google A/B test the different ads. It also allows you to see how the different unique ads perform. Sometimes Google algorithm doesn't. There'll be patterns in the data in Google, and you see it before Google adjusts to it. So you can, hey, these 2 ads are performing well. This one's not. Let me pause it and rewrite this one because I already see it's underperforming or performing, depending on the situation. So 3 ads per ad group. All the keywords that are on the website need to be divided into their specific ad group, and then they need to be in the ad copy as well. I know I went fast there, but let me know if you have any questions. So yeah, that's basically, and that's traditional search. Let me stop for a second since I know I went fast. Does anyone have any questions? John, do you want to add anything? I know I went fast. Is there any sections you want me to go back and review?
Yeah, maybe I was gonna say at the campaign level is where you can set the target area. So you guys are wondering why don't we create multiple campaigns? You won't need it if you're targeting different cities or different geographic, right? So locations. So if I'm targeting St. Paul and one in Minneapolis, it's better for me to have 2 different campaigns, one for St. Paul, one for Minneapolis, versus doing one campaign to target like the whole Minnesota, right? Because that's really broad. So you can really be very specific, right down to the niche of each particular city, the age group you want to target. There's a lot of different things you can do, the different options, audience and stuff like that too. So, and also you can set the time of your ads to show up. If you're only operating a certain time, you can get it to only show your ads, from 9 to 5, vice versa. So Google allows you to have a lot of flexibility and options to really fine tune your ads. Versus like Facebook. I'm not sure if you guys ever tried Facebook, but Facebook's really more broad, where you can't really be as specific as Google.
Yeah. Thank you for that, John. And back to that locations too. One good thing I talk about right sizing, getting your budget correct. Let's say you want to target the United States, or let's just use St. Paul or Minneapolis, and it's just you don't have enough budget, or you just don't want to go all in yet. You're unsure. If you can't. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, you can't increase budget. You don't have more budget. Reduce your locations. It's the same thing, really. Really, you should add budget, but if you can't, and just like John said, separate your campaigns. by location. You can manage that budget that much more efficiently. There's a lot to cover here. You could even, while we're just on the subject, I didn't touch audience layers yet. It's a little bit higher level than basic, but we can. This ties into remarketing setup and everything. But one good thing to do, just about in any account, it's a good best practice, is add audience segments. Not to target them, but to just in the observation level. Oh, sorry. This is also a cool part too. It's going slow. I want to go back there and show you too. If you want to visit, see your demographics of your webpage visitors and clicks, gender, household income. This is all in the audience tab, male, female, stuff like that. But I want to go back to the audience segments. Always add this if you can. It's going to default to observation. This is what you want. Targeting is if you already know and have this audience identified. This is really going to restrict your traffic, so make sure don't click that unless you're sure. It already scraped my website. You know, Google's getting smarter these days, and it really actually picked some decent, not all of them, but I do SEM services. This is here. I do marketing. I do Google Ads, and this is pretty. I'm gonna select it all because even if it's so what this is gonna do too, and I'm not gonna be targeting this. We're just gonna be observing it, which means if any of my clicks or any of my traffic comes through, and they have behaviors associated, search or website or web traffic behavior that they've showed interest into any of these services that are associated with mine, it'll show that data. It'll just show how they perform. Now they're not targeting it or anything. Let me open it back up so you see. So now anyone that's, this isn't directly related to what I'm doing, but anyone that's sales related or has or shows an interest in sales and marketing jobs, how they click on my ads, their average cost per click, click-through rate, conversion rate is all going to display. I can't scroll over for some reason, but you usually can. Oh, there it is. Will all display here. You'll be able to see the cost, conversion rate. Now, after time, what the powerful thing is, you can be like, all right, you know, business and financial services really did well. Then you can break out your own campaign and just target. You're not even targeting keywords at this point. You're targeting audience layering. This is probably mid to high level. You don't need to know everything I just went through. You just need to know, go to audience settings and do what I did. It's going to scrape your website, edit audience segments. Anyone can do this part, and just it's going to populate everything that Google thinks it's associated with your website. If you don't like them, you can go in and add them manually. You can go ahead and search stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a clear this right here. You can go ahead and browse. Who are they? You can go ahead and target marital status, education. It honestly gets, you'd be surprised what Google's able to find out, but the list goes on. So if you really want to get, and these are affinities and interests, so you want to target people that maybe telecoms, travel, we could spend an hour conference just going through these. And then I mentioned earlier, we can tie this, this also has to do with how you tie up retargeting. I'm going to go ahead and try to find it. And you can retarget people who have visited your website, people who visited your website and stayed on a certain amount of time, people who visited the checkout page and abandoned. You can even target people who visited your competitors' websites, believe it or not. I'm trying to find. Oh, here we go, right here. For some reason, oh, I don't have any search data, but once I do have some, once I launch my website and it does have some traffic, I'll have the ability to traffic my website users, people who converted, or my non-converters. And you'll see that here. So, anyways, that's a little bit. I wanted to just touch. It's important. It's a little bit outside of introductory level, but go there, add the audience segments at a minimum, even if you're really not sure what's going on there. You can, once you get data around it, it'll start making sense to you. I think we went, you know what, I'll do this. Let's do a demo on, everyone knows that, you know, Google Ads. So, okay, let's say you didn't know your keywords or how your people are searching, and you hit right here, this is basically the keyword planner. I already had a keyword in there, but let's say you're unsure, you want to explore different options. So I just hit add keyword, and automatically Google scraped my website, and it gave me some pretty good ideas. All of these are related, just a little bit different. Like one's plural, one's not plural. Instead of specialist, they're using consultant, experts. This is actually a pretty good variation. I like these. I'm gonna go ahead and add them all. These are broad keywords too. And I don't think we mentioned this before. Be very careful on the type of keywords you use. They automatically have a default from broad. It's like casting the net really wide. Lead generation sales, I actually recommend phrase and exact only, no broad. Google's always going to recommend broad because it inflates your budget, and that's good for them, but it's not good for our cost per lead. But for the sake of not converting these all to exact and phrase, which take me another 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to save these as broad for just for the presentation. But keep that in mind. You want to use phrase or match more often. You use broad, check this every day, twice a day. You're going to get all sorts of traffic coming in. For instance, if someone, so broad match basically means so paid search traffic. If it's phrase or exact is someone has to search paid search traffic or something very similar for it to show. Phrase, it'll show for paid search traffic or any variation of that. Search paid expert or paid search, it will still show, variations. Broad, I could just put paid expert and that'll show. Paid expert of anything, literally. And if you're targeting all of the United States, that one broad keyword will blow through, a couple $100 budget in any major city. So I think, so just understand that. So yeah, that's a really so basically we created a campaign here. We created an ad. I put some keywords in, and then we actually did a little bit of keyword research. SEM Rush. I think John mentioned all these. So I don't have to run through those again. Oh, there is one I did want to do. One cool thing. Google Ads Transparency Center. If you want to get ad copy ideas, SEM Rush, Spy Fool, all the ones you mentioned before. This is a fairly new tool. It's straight from Google, and it's excellent. I really recommend it. This will show you any ads that are live on the internet, on Google or Google Search Network, any ads that any competitor is running, and they can do this to you too. So this is a fairly new and it works. I've done it. Let's try it out. Hey John, let's do your website. What's your website? Or if you don't want to, I'll find something else.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's digitalsynergy.ai or someone else who in the audience who wants
Actually,
to.
I googled it. Oh yeah, yeah, that's great. Any John, I'm going to use yours. You prefer an audience member?
Yeah, either or. I haven't seen anyone respond yet.
Yeah, I think I googled you earlier.
It's digitalsynergy.ai.
Yep, there you are. Sorry, my load time is horrible. This is you, right? Yeah. Right. I'm hoping you have enough search traffic. But oh yeah, if you have any paid ads running for your agency, they should show. Are you running paid ads?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's good to know because look at it saying I'm not finding any. So it's correct. That's correct. All right. That's what it's supposed to do. But let's find someone who is. But that's good. That's a good test right there. Let's do. All right. I'm just going to put in one of my small local. I'm trying to think of who I could. Okay. I'm going to use an old client of mine. I'm not my client anymore. Yeah. Okay. Oh, maybe they're not in business anymore. Oh, I know. Hold on. I used to work with them, so that's why, and I know the others. So I don't mind. Ads. You may not be running ads either. Okay, let's just do something like that we know that are running ads. I did business with this company before. Hudson. It's a steam cleaning company. Yep. So I didn't even click on it. So they're running a bunch of ads. This is a steam cleaning company I use, and I know they're running ads. That's their URL. They're running 5 ads here in the United States, 200 ads. Let's just check this one out. Cleaning. Boom, here are their ads. They sell generators. I recently bought something with the website off the PPC ad, so I know they're running ads. But yeah, that's it. Any of your competitors, you want to see what they're running, get ideas, get inspiration. Really cool tool. And in fact, I really like it because you're not, SEM Rush and Spy Fool and all that are cool. but they're really third party. They're really scraping off Google, putting it into their platform, and then displaying it, on their dashboard. This is Google, so there's no middleman. So I love this tool. Anyways, I don't want to spend my last 15 minutes on that. So great little again, Google Ads Transparency Center, completely free. I would use this for sure. Yeah, so what do you think, Johnny? Maybe move over to display. Anything more about traditional search
Yeah,
I should
I
cover?
think this is good to give a good overview. Maybe just talk a little bit about local service ads.
Yes.
Because a lot of the entrepreneurs here, they have local service. Maybe just how to set up. It's really pretty easy to set up.
Yes, yeah, it is. Thank
It's
you.
a different website as well. It's a different website.
No, that's a good, because it is different. So yeah, let's go ahead. I have one here, but I want to show you how to actually set up. So if you want to go to local service ads, just Google local service ads. You can go directly to the URL. I'm lazy, I Google it. So here we are. When I sign in, it may automatically log me in. Yeah, it did. But it's okay. You just won't see this. You won't see all my other businesses. So click new, obviously new local, and we're gonna go through the processes. I don't think I'll be able to save it. This takes, so you got to do it. You got to submit your business license. If you don't have a license, I think you put your social security and a couple other sensitive information. So, okay, check out eligibility. Me and John are actually testing this too, and if you think it's in your area, just because it's not for one business in your area doesn't mean it's not for all. So for instance, we know for sure lawyers run local service in Minneapolis, but other businesses do not for whatever reason. They're rolling it out to everyone eventually. You just got to check. And there's a number down here to check if your business is offered. But I know like HVAC, lawyers, tax services, construction, electrical, plumbing, they're all there if you're within those. Some e-commerce stuff's in there. But anyways, so let's go ahead and do, I'm over here in Tampa, Florida. So let's go ahead and do, and we pick a service. Appliance repair. I don't even know if they offer this. Let's check. Yes, they do. I don't want to go ahead and save this because this is attached to my email, which I, you know what, let me go back because I do want to try. Yeah, it's pretty simple. You just you click through that. You don't really have to do it. You click through that. It's now create my profile. It's not like traditional search where you got to do, have there's no keywords. It's all done by this is cost per lead, not cost per click. There's no keywords. You just put in your business vertical. If you're doing lawyers, you would pick your specific practice areas. If you're doing HVAC, you would put your services offered. If you were selling pizza, you would you would put different options there. This is way more simple. You don't have to make your ads. You don't have to write your ads. All you have to do is set your budget and do all this. Let's create my profile. It's just gonna, like, again, business name, if you have a business ID number, but this is where you're gonna have to upload your social security and just all the stuff that comes with that. I'm not gonna put my personal info, but it's pretty easy. Really, really user friendly to move through that. When you do save, you're gonna end up on a page like this, and you're gonna go ahead and click. I'll go ahead. You know what? I don't even know. Go ahead and use this unknown business name because I don't know who it is, which means I don't. It's an old account that I managed. So let's go explore here. I don't think we'll do any harm. Okay, actually, no, this is pretty cool. This looks like an account I started, and then for whatever reason I didn't finish, and then you just saw right there and actually just bounced me back. So yeah, so actually you can see the business information at once now. So city, all that stuff. So you get to see that. I started this, and then it looks like I bailed on it for whatever reason, an old account. But at least we got in to see. So this is the final page. This is part 3. This is exactly what you'll see. And if I hit get started, it'll just kick me back and tell me I have to fill this out. But yeah, and once you're in there, let me go ahead and do this too. Once you're in there. Yeah, no, this is the final part. Right here, business details. You have to set up your service area, you put in your zip code, your city locations. You're going to set up your service types, what vertical you're in, what industry are you in, your business hours, and you're going to preview your ad. Usually takes about 48 hours for it to get approved, and then your leads will come in. I can't demo this now. Maybe I can get with John. We can figure out a way in the next one. But there is because we have no traffic, there is a way to go listen to your phone calls, dispute your phone calls if they're not quality, and then a dashboard to see if that dispute got refunded or not. Google will give a reason. If you want to escalate it, you can. But it's a really good platform because it's a guaranteed lead. You just have to get yourself in those top 3 positions.
Yeah, so how do they set up their budget spend? Like, do they get billed for X number of leads or?
Yeah, so it's going to tell you what your budget is. It doesn't mean you're going to exhaust the budget, but just what you're willing to spend per week. And that's what it's going to ask. It's not done by month, it's done by per week, even though it invoices by month. But anyway, you can put in a weekly budget, and you put in a weekly budget. It's really simple. This is a lot simpler than the previous Google Ads setup. You just put in your weekly budget, and then based on search demand, based on your reviews, based on how fast you respond, leads will start coming in. And yeah, this one thing I say, Google local service ads, it was actually originally designed for small business owners to manage themselves. It kind of turned into this thing where you kind of need a specialist to do it because so many different features and kind of hoops to jump through, and people with businesses don't really have time to learn this, or a few do. But this is pretty easy. Like, again, this is very little optimization. There's no keyword optimization. There's no ad optimization. There's little tweaks with budget you can do. And I think there's some characters you can change and how the ad displays, but it's limited. The rest, the good thing is everyone displays the same, or almost the same, outside of the business name and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say try both, right? Just to see which one's more effective for your business, especially if you're local.
Yeah, if you're local, I would always say try and do both. If you can exhaust all your budget in local service ads, do it. You probably won't, but if you can, you do it. Do it, because the cost per leads are usually cheaper, and the guaranteed leads, and they record all your phone calls for free. But I usually frame it as it's a supplement to traditional search. It won't replace it, it'll supplement it. And yeah, let me know. Let me stop because I know I went through. We got about 7, 8 minutes left. Does anyone have any? Where were we here? Okay, here's the original traditional search. Any questions about anything I covered? Any questions? Any hypotheticals? Anything?
Yeah, so this is a lot of information, but it's good to kind of get a feel of how things work. And like I said, Google Ads, it's a lot of work. As you can see, that's why we have experts like Hugo to help clients out. And anytime when you're running these ads, Google does have a support team to help you out, but they're very limited in terms of strategic. But they can give you help and advice and vice versa.
Right,
So-
good point. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have one question. I got a $500 Google ad came through my email today. So I know you had touched on it briefly. Hugo, is that $500 just a one time based on my usage, or how does that work?
So yeah, so that's an incentive. So if you're a new user like yourself, I think it's decided by email. If you're a new user, they'll give you the first 500 you spend, they're going to give you a $500 credit. They don't actually mail you a check or anything. But if you spend 500, then your next 500 is free. It's on them. So you basically got to spend 1,000. Basically, if you spend 1,000, you get 500 off. 500. So yeah, unfortunately, they don't mail you. I mean, it's a rebate. But it is $500 off. So if you're running campaigns for your first month, you get $500 off your first month.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions, scenarios? I know if we do this again, I think we'll be a little bit more prepared with some visuals. Me and John just partnered probably like 2 days ago, so we kind of put it together the best we can.
Yeah, and if anyone has any questions later, feel free to reach out to me. If you want to set up your campaign, want us to take a look at it, we can as well. Whenever you're ready. So I'd say, for local businesses, definitely explore these options. And any other questions? I know we have about 5 minutes left. I'll go back to the slide.
Yeah, if there's any topics on your slide we can review. I know we talked about the display, excuse me, display and YouTube setup, but you know, it's so easy to just, you know, go. I could spend an hour just explaining the audience layering. So,
Yeah.
you know, whatever you think is best. We have the time.
Yep. So again, like there's a lot of information out there too. There's YouTube videos, how to set up things, but I'd say definitely if you're trying to set up an account, make sure you have someone who knows how to set up accounts, kind of look through your account. Because if you set up the wrong way, you can burn your budget fairly quick and you can get a low quality score. Once you get to that point, it's kind of hard to bring it back up because you're going to be paying a lot. It's probably better to create a whole new account, start fresh. So yeah, if you have any questions afterwards, feel free to reach out to us and we can help you out. But this is a lot of information. It takes a lot of time to really run a effective campaign. And just to let you all know, we do have next week will be focused on Bing ads. So I know we talked about Google ads, but Bing is also really important too. A lot of people see Bing as, like I said, higher conversion rates. They see better quality leads as well. So that's why I wanted to kind of spend a day just kind of talk about Bing search ads as well. And
If I had to, and I'm thinking, if I had to try to simplify it for the audience, most, you know, small to medium-sized businesses that are looking for sales and lead generation, traditional search is what should be recommended most of the time. If I had to really just, not for all of you, but for the majority of you, if you're into, you know, online in-store sales or lead generation, would be traditional search. I know it's a lot of noise or a lot of topics we covered. Just want to throw that out there.
And last but not least, again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Hugo. We can get in touch with you as well, help you out.
Sure, absolutely. I'm partnering with John on this. You can reach out to him with any questions, and he'll field them for me. And I'm actually reporting to John on this. So anything Google Ad services, if you're in need, you can contact him, and if we can help you, you know, we'll let you know.
Yeah, I think we got 2 minutes left. We can wrap things up. Any other questions? Anything to add? If not, thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you, Hugo, for giving us your expertise on the pay-per-click seminar webinar here. Again, we'll be back next week on Bing pay-per-click. If anyone has any questions, reach out. We'll be posting the video and PowerPoint slide online and on YouTube, and I'll send out a link to our post and to let you all know about next week's webinar.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you all have a good night. Well, we'll be in touch.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.